I'm telling you, nobody hurt me. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess the Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with the Cyclops saga of Epic the Musical. So yeah, we got to the first saga, the Troy saga, 2 weeks ago, and now we're getting to the second saga. I want to say this is the one I'm the most familiar with, the one I remember the most from the Odyssey in terms of what happens here. And I think it probably is for a lot of people. It's the story that you hear people like reference from the Odyssey probably the most. And it just has this like comedic edge to it, while also this feeling of danger and excitement. And it just gets really interesting because it almost, in my opinion, sets the tone for the rest of things. Um, while the stuff that came before this obviously like gets you to know what to expect in terms of the idea of the story and the fact that it's about this long journey home and everything, with all these stops along the way. This one really like gives you the kind of scope of it in a way that the first saga didn't. And I don't know like what the songs in this are going to cover. I know what they're going to cover, but you know what I mean. I don't know like what they're going to cover in terms of like genre and style. I don't know how it's going to be portrayed like in terms of voices. And I'm very very curious to see, because last time, if you remember right, there was part of the song, oh god, what was the name of the song? Part of the song Just a Man I had heard before. I had heard quite a lot before on TikTok. And that combined with like, just how good the other songs were as well, like really created this vibe for the music of this fictional musical. Because remember, this isn't an actual musical, it's just, a set of albums. I mean, I guess it's still technically kind of a musical, it's just told specifically through albums rather than like on a stage. Though it would be cool to see like a stage adaptation of this. That would be a pretty interesting little twist. Um yeah, I'm definitely interested to see what they do with this compared to what I know excuse me, about this portion in the actual original story. And I'm very very excited to get to more, just in general. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. We do have 4 songs again this time, just to go over what they're called. The first one is Polyphemus. Then we have Survive, Remember Them, and My Goodbye. So those are the 4 songs for this saga. But yeah, thanks again for tuning in. Let's get this going and see what these songs have in store for us. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So yeah, the big culmination of the Cyclops saga is obviously Odysseus choosing to basically be a moron. Because the thing is, Odysseus is extremely smart, and he shows that numerous times. Even in this saga specifically, when he tricks Polyphemus with his name, calling himself Nobody. This is an extremely smart and tactical plan. But at the end, him choosing out of hubris, out of pride, to reveal his true name and everything, simply because of his men's death and everything, he basically he invites calamity upon himself by doing that. And Athena is even like, you got to go back and kill him now. You do know that. But he chooses not to. He chooses to remain, more sympathetic, I guess is just the best word for it. And he does this obviously out of respect for Polites. In order to remember Polites, who was a dear friend to him, he remains as sympathetic and kind as he can. The open hand approach that Polites spoke of in the first set of songs, the first saga. And that's morally good. Like, from a moral perspective, he is in the right. And Athena's perspective in regards to, basically just killing, war, violence and everything, is wrong. But the issue here is what is set up with by this. The songs here don't give like a full picture of it, I feel. Because if I remember right, Athena's decision to leave Odysseus wasn't as like simplistic as it's shown here in the Odyssey. And there was more to it than just this. It basically comes down to Odysseus like makes a decision that like puts him down a specific path of destruction that Athena can't abide by, that she can't live with, because she was trying to help him. She was trying to, get him and his men home safely, but he just kind of doesn't listen. There is more nuance in the actual main story that you just don't get like from a musical aspect like this. It's not like this is like, again, a stage performance where you can have, visually speaking, more to it. Here you're going based just on the songs in these animatics, and it's like, yeah, you understand that Odysseus made this extremely stupid decision to reveal himself, but with the songs and everything, it's like, it just seems like Athena and him are just like arguing only over a difference in ideology. It makes her come across as just like doing this like for the sake of like not just pure violence, but for like a warrior's spirit, a warrior's ideology, rather than trying to protect and save Odysseus here. while his side is more like just both vengeful and forgiving at the same time. So it really, the music here, the songs and everything really push you more in Odysseus's direction in terms of a moral statement and in terms of just general nuance. He has more of it in these songs than Athena does. But in the actual story, they both have a lot of nuance to them. Um, but obviously, I know where this leads. And if you've ever read the Odyssey, you should too. And things are going to only escalate from here. While the story of Polyphemus and everything is probably the most famous part of the Odyssey, it's by no means the climax. The story only, like, pumps up from here. And it's going to get a lot more intense, a lot more crazy, a lot more, like, insane than this. And a lot more scary, too. Um, the songs themselves, I feel, weren't as exciting this time as they were with the first set. I feel the songs were still really good, don't get me wrong, and I'm not complaining about the quality of them. It's just, I think part of it is I'm used to it now. I knew what to expect going in, unlike the first time. So it's like I was more surprised with the first set because it's like I didn't know what I was going to get into. But these songs just, while they're still very good, just weren't as much my thing as well. I think that's part of it. Like they were rock and like pretty like aggressive rock too. But I just couldn't get into the just the sound of them. I keep saying that, but it's like again, I don't know a lot of musical terms, so I couldn't get into them as much. But going over them, Polyphemus and Survive both had this desperate, scary tone to them that really felt like intense. Remember Them was a lot more melancholy, was still having that rock vibe, and still like kind of expressing itself as I'm a warrior, I have to like live up to that in a way. And My Goodbye was an argument. And it sounded like an argument in terms of how it was like auditorily portrayed. So, if I were to say my favorite amongst this set, amongst this saga, it would probably be Remember Them, if I'm being honest. And my least favorite would probably be I want to say Polyphemus. And I think part of that is because I'm not a huge fan of what they did with the Polyphemus voice. I understand why they did it, but the filter sounds really weird and off to me. It just didn't work as well in my opinion. I just I wasn't as like it didn't sound like it fit with the rest of this, you know? Because you have these great voices, these beautiful tones and everything, and then you have this like crackly, raspy voice filter that just sounds so off-putting. And I understand that's probably supposed to be the point and everything, but at the same time, it's it's just not. It doesn't sound good in my opinion. For me at least, it just I don't think it sounds good. Um, and it kind of breaks the song away a little bit for me. So that's why. Um, just overall, I do think I like the Troy Saga more in terms of the music, in terms of even the visuals of the animatics. I feel like it had more like power and excitement and just emotion to it. I still enjoyed this part of the story a lot, but it didn't do as much for me in terms of the in terms of the visuals of the animatics and in terms of the songs as the first Saga did. It's not bad by any means. I want to make that clear. I still really enjoyed it, but it just wasn't as good in my opinion, just personally. But yeah, so this was still an enjoyable ride, and next, I believe the next saga is the Ocean Saga. Let me just make sure here. Yes, the Ocean Saga. Okay. And like with this one, we'll probably have like a 2 week break, do something in between, um, before we get to the next one, and that's where things are going to really get started here. So we'll see how that goes when we get to it. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. So tell me in the comments below, what did you think of these 4 songs, these 4 animatics, as part of Epic the Musical? Let me know your thoughts down below. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.